video in response to, if I show you, if I switch the camera around, Mozi Shafiq, possibly a student in London or somewhere in the country, and he said he's got his paper B in a few days, he needs some help. If you can answer these questions, it'd be great. So he wants to know the Gantt chart, so part B, the Gantt chart, the date went over the budget of around 5 weeks. However, I've added resources or predecessors. So would I still get marks, and how much with the cost and resources plan? So he's saying the budget, I assume he means like the money went over. And then in the second question, it says, if he's gone over by 5 weeks, which he did, what can I say in my paper B as to why it went over 5 weeks? Or can I make it myself, like the staff got ill or delivery took a while? Right, so let's just talk about that. So basically what he's saying is, and this is my answer to his question, if you go over by a few weeks, so go and look at this post-mortem analysis Unit 3 project management exam if you want to see the answers in comments, and let me know what you think about that. Basically, I'm saying if you went over by a few weeks, 5 weeks, is that okay? It really depends how you justify it. Often they put things in where tasks do take a lot longer than they're meant to. So what you really should do is you should try and make it so that the tasks stay within the time frame as much as possible. You can double up on resources. So if you, maybe if I can just get this open, if you remember the in the Gantt chart, I don't think I've got access to that, but that you can set resources, and the resources will, you can double up on different tasks, but you will need to work out the extra cost of that. You're also going to need to work out if the resources cost more and you're putting two resources with different costs on, you need to work out the cost. But if the resources are like the same junior engineers, for example, and you just put 2 on instead of just 1, you cut the time to do that task down in half, and it doesn't change the cost because they're still doing it in the same amount of time, but you've just got 2 people on it, and that means you can stay within budget of time more easily. If that it means you have to put more expensive resources on a project or on a task to make it go faster, then the problem with that is that you're going to basically possibly overrun, but you can justify that, and you can say part of your quality management was to make sure that you didn't overrun in time, you kept the quality high, so you used more resources that may have cost a little bit more. And as long as you can justify that, that's okay, as long as it follows some sort of logical thread. But really, if you haven't doubled up on resources on some tasks, you should really think about that, because that is a problem you often come across, and you can solve it if you manage the project in a different way. Yeah, so that's what I'm saying here, and I think that answers what he's saying. His second question was, should he basically make things up? And I said, don't make up reasons why resources did not work out. Come up with reasons, because work with the resources you have available, with the things they tell you in the paper. Come up with logical reasons for these failing. So you shouldn't just go, oh, there was a nuclear attack, or you shouldn't just say, oh, there was a coronavirus. Well, it's not mentioned in the paper. Just stay within their guidelines. They'll give you all the information you need and work with that. But you could possibly say, and part of your quality management is that you take account of people being sick. So you make sure that people who are going to be sick have cover, right? So you have double the resources on each task. So in the event that someone is off, then you're not going to get behind. But you shouldn't just make up reasons why. you know. And his last question is, should I copy and paste stuff from my quality management to my lessons learned because they are quite similar? So, and I said, I think reusing information is okay. I can copy and paste a lot of the things I've written before into other sections, and other students have done that. I've taught them that, and they got really good marks. But just make sure the information you are copying is relevant for the section that you're copying. You might, because basically many of the things in your quality management are possibly things that could, so say for example, what could be in quality management? You put multiple resources on each task. Why? Because someone might be sick, someone might be off. And then the lessons learned, you might say, I learned that the importance of putting extra resources on a task means we won't get behind in terms of time and maybe budget. So there are many things that you could kind of repeat the things that you said you did in your quality management in the lessons learned, saying it was a good idea. You know, that's fine, but you might want to rewrite it a little bit, put it into a better format that makes more sense for that section. So don't just like blanket copy and paste, but change the text a bit, put it in that frame. But as long as you can justify and explain everything you're saying in any of the sections, if it makes sense and it's logical, then I think you'll get marks. So that's all I wanted to say, really. And how do I end this? I think I tapped there.